Hello everyone! Welcome back to another 2v2 battle. This is me and a person named, I believe, Lord of the Rings fan 15. The 15th fan of Lord of the Rings, so this person must be probably pretty old considering how long those books came out. So what we got here, we got the Gobos, or Greenskins, with the Dwarves, which is an odd alliance, but hey, it happens. We are facing off against the Warriors of Chaos and the Vampire Counts. This is a higher fund army. I believe it was 17,000. My army here is being led by Skarsnik, and then a front line of 2 Gobos, 2 Nasty Skulkers, 3 Orc Biggins, and then the 8 Peak Loonies. Actually, the 3rd Orc Biggin is back here in reserve. And then we also have the Crimson Killers. We also have the Night Goblin Shaman, 2 of the Goblin Big Bosses, which is pretty standard as you've seen those before. And then I put a lot of money into our mobility part of our army. We have 1 Squig Herd. I brought 2 Night Squig Hoppers. It was requested to show them in a battle, so here they are. I wholeheartedly believe they are worse than the Squig Hoppers, or I'm sorry, than the Squig Herds. But you know what? You can have fun with them. Little Night Goblins on Squigs. They do poison damage. You know what I mean? They're alright. But anyway, we also have the Orc Boy Biggins, 2 of them. We also have the renowned Broken Tusk Mob, and I've been testing out the Ragnarok Queen marching with the Cav Force just for some added oomph in their Cav engagement, so I'm doing that. My ally here has brought a front line of, I believe, mostly a real mix here. Hammerers, Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. You have the Dragonback Slayers. Then we have the Grumbling Guard, which is a good pick. We have the Renowned Hammers, the Peak Gate Guard. Grombrindle is in the army. They also have a Runesmith, I believe. Yeah. We also have a group of cannons, an Organ Gun, and then a normal group of Slayers on top of that. And then in Vanguard deployment, they have 2 Bugman's Rangers in this corner, then a Norgrimling's Ironbreaker unit, and the Uthar's Raiders right behind him. This is a unique choice, and currently they are winning in combat against the Marauder Horsemaster. Speaking of, Warriors of Chaos, Horsemaster, Chaos Warhounds, Exalted Warrior on a Manticore. We have like 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Chaos Warriors with great weapons, 2 Aspiring Champions, Big Bird himself, and 4 Hell Cannons. Again, this is a higher fun army. For the Vampire count, 2 Crypt Horrors, 2 Karen Race, 2 Blood Knights, 4 Graveguard with great weapons, Manfred von Karstein, which you don't usually see on the ground too often, and then also 4 Graveguard in front of them. So yeah, the initial combat here was just going to be over here in this Vanguard deployed. Again, this is a really interesting choice. In the corner, the Ironbreakers can protect these Uthar Raiders, kinda. But they can obviously be very overwhelmed easily if the enemy player puts enough resources in doing that. And you can see they're actually going to be pulling back a couple of these Chaos Warriors with great weapons. I believe the Exalted Hero is going to go back there as well. And you can see the Norgrimling's Ironbreakers are taking a shot from one of the 4 Hell Cannons over here. The other ones are, I believe, targeting my Goblins. I think that's probably just an auto-target and not an actual manual target, because who would use that to destroy very basic Goblins? Is my question. Over here, the other Vanguard Bugman's Rangers are going to get into action a little ahead of time. I was not exactly up there quite yet with my mobile force, but I am going to try and double time it over there because the Blood Knights now see what the hell is shooting them, and they're going to be charging the Bugman's Rangers, which had no chance against 2 Blood Knights charging them head on. They're not that good. They're pretty cool, but they're not that good. Over here, you can see a sizable Chaos Force, including the Exalted Hero, the Chaos Warhounds, Horsemasters, who've taken a lot of hits from the Ironbreakers and the Uthar Raiders. And then the Chaos Warriors are going to march over here to try and silence this Vanguard force down, while the Blood Knights are now going to be dealing with the 2 Bugman's Rangers. And again, they don't really have much of a chance over there. Meanwhile, the front line of me and the Dwarves, which are intermixed, are now going to clash with the Chaos Warriors. And we'll just kind of look over here for the first part of this battle. So I had to split my forces up kind of evenly between the Vampire Count and the Chaos Warrior, but me and the Dwarf player are kind of even. I think the Dwarf player is favoring the matchup against this Chaos Warrior a little bit. But yeah, so I have our 8 Peak Loonies in here. We have a couple Orc Biggins. We have the Nasty Skulkers, which are being supported by Grombrindle, which is very odd. But their armor-piercing damage along with the Peak Gate Guard is going to make a pretty nasty combination here against these Chaos Warriors. But you can see are already taking just a massive amount of damage against the Hammer unit. The Slayers is an odd choice to be put in there, but Grombrindle and then the Nasty Skulkers, who again are emboldened because they have the Peak Gate Guard, they have Grombrindle nearby, and they're just going to tear ass through these Chaos Warriors with all of their very nasty armor penetration. You can see my Knight Fanatic Goblin Shaman thing is supporting this battle. I cast a buff and a debuff over here, but you can see that the Chaos Warriors are already shattering because their leadership is over here dealing with the Vanguard deployed force of the Norgrimling's Ironbreakers, who are still hanging on there because they will hold on forever. So Skarsnik, along with the AP Loonies and these Nasty Skulkers, have pierced through the middle, or I should say, the Chaos's left flank right now. I'm going to be putting my Crimson Killers over here to face off against the Vampire Counts. Meanwhile, the Dwarf player and some of my forces are going to continue to deal with the Chaos Warriors over here. including the Peak Gate Guard. You can see Chaos Warriors just kind of running everywhere. Their lines broke just because of all the armor-piercing damage that was brought down to bear upon them, and they didn't have their leaders over there to support them because they were over here dealing with the No Gremlings Iron Breakers. My Epic Loonies, who are unbreakable, are going to be sent over to start clearing out these Hell Cannons, one of 4 that are here. My Orc Biggins are going to be doing the same thing as over here. One of the Dwarf units, I believe it's the Dragonfire Pass. Yeah, Dragonfire Pass Warriors are now being triple teamed by the Aspiring Champions and these Chaos Warriors. I am sending some Gobos to help, but they're not honestly going to be much of a help. But luckily enough, the Dwarf forces of Grombrindle and the Peak Gate Guard, along with these Grumbling Guard, are going to be coming over here to try and crush the remaining pocket of Chaos Infantry over here. And I can just kind of continue to chase off the Chaos Infantry here, and I think that's actually it over here. But yeah, my focus over here at this point is just dealing with these Hell Cannons. The No Gremlins Iron Breakers still holding on. This is like halfway through the battle, and they are just now about to break with 25 units left. But they have dealt a massive damage to these Chaos Warriors and to the Exalted Hero mounted on the Manticore. So these Vanguard deployed forces, really good, as it turns out. Really good. They also took the attention of 2 of these Hell Cannons through most of the battle. They are finally going to break, but they had all of the heroes and a group of Chaos Warriors, including 2 of these Hell Cannons, focused on them in the entire time, giving time for Grombrindle and his Peak Gate Guard and his Dwarves to come over here and try and finish off these Chaos Warriors who don't really have much of support. Ouch! Now that those 2 cannons are no longer paying attention to the Iron Breakers, they are going to deal some damage to this pocket of Dwarf resistance, or Dwarf units. You can see we have crushed, I believe, almost 2 of the Hell Cannons over here, and we are now quickly dealing with this Chaos Warrior who came back from rounding. The AP Loonies and these Nasty Skulkers are more than enough. You can see their opportunistic murderer trait has proc because they are winning in combat decisively, which is just going to make them win even quicker. Nasty Skulkers, I can't stress enough how cool those little gobos are. They are some, well, nasty dudes. And they're so happy, like they always have a smile on their face, even if they're dying. I've captured that in a thumbnail. A Night Stalker was Nasty Stalker was dying, and he was smiling the whole time. And I love Gobos. They're so great. Anyway, you can see I'm also pulling over some Night Goblin Squig Hoppers who are now getting to this part of the battle. Both of them. The Squig Herd is still alive, but they are kind of trailing behind. I'm going to put down Big Bird, or at least try and pin him to the ground with this group of Orc Biggins who do have a bonus versus large. And Big Bird does not have a lot of armor. So these Biggins are actually going to... They're like an ideal unit to bring down, or at least keep... Big Bird busy while also dealing with some damage to him. I'm going to pull the AP Loonies over here to try and apply some poison damage to him, because he does deal a lot of damage in his own right. Meanwhile, these Squig Herds are going to be going over here to try and finish off these 2 Hell Cannons because they still have a lot of ammunition left and we cannot let them fire into the clumps of infantry that we have. Chaos Warriors have come back from rounding, but I don't believe that the enemy player has realized that half of his forces routed this way, or half of their forces routed this way, so they're not going to be brought back to the battle. Allowing my Squig Herds and the Dwarf and Gobbo coalition to continue marching over here against Big Bird. But let's actually stop it right there, and there is still a battle happening with the vampire counts. So let's kind of rewind time and see how that battle happened. So there goes the clash with the Warriors of Chaos, who unfortunately just did not have what it takes to hold off the Dwarf and Greenskin line. I'm going to allow the Dragonback Slayers here to take the initial hit for the Grave Guard. I'm going to follow them in with the Orc Biggins and some Nasty Skulkers. We also have support of another group of Hammers and Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. I also have my Gobos nearby, and my Night Goblin Shamans. Magic is going to be mostly focused over here against the Vampire Counts. You can see the Bugman's Rangers are now being routed off the field pretty quickly after the initial engagement with the Blood Knights, because Blood Knights are shock cavalry and they destroy lower armored troops like the Bugman's Rangers. But I do have my mobile force here. We have our Goblin Big Bosses. We have our Orc Biggins. We have the Arachnoid Spider. You can see the Blood Knights are trying to run away, but there's really nowhere to run to. This is the edge of the map, so I'm going to manually move my Broken Tusk Mob over here to just try and cut them off, because it's clear that they're going to want to try and skirt the map's edge. But then they are going to try and give us a charge, but we caught them with one of our Orc Boy Biggins. Going to get another charge with our Renown unit. They don't really get a good charge on us, because of the way that they were trying to run away from us. And then here come our Ragnarok Queen and the 2 Gobbo Big Bosses. I should have actually split them up between both these units for the poison damage. And then our third Orc Boy Biggin is going to come over here, and they are just outmatched in this. The Orc Boy Biggins, as far as anti-cav goes, is some of the most like cost-efficient cav that you can have. Again, in terms of fighting off other cav. And just doing like rear charge, like they're just really good cav for 900 gold. And the Renown unit is super good, and you can see these Blood Knights are just going to melt under all of these Orc Boy Biggins. And I actually did a move order, because I wasn't looking at, like, I quickly looked at this battle, I think. But I guess I moved them out before I was done killing the Blood Knights, but they are slowly crumbling. I didn't realize it did that. I thought they were both dead. Anyway, they're going to now be marching over here, where our Squig Herd and our Squig Hoppers have engaged with the Grave Guard initially, and then the Cryptors came over here, and I was too busy micromanaging other things, so you can see the Squig Hoppers are actually kind of losing this combat. They are anti-infantry, but they're not really anti-armor, and especially not anti-large, but they do apply poison damage, so they can weaken the units around here. But against the two Grave Guard and these two Cryptors, it's just too much for them, so they are going to rout. But as they are rout, our other mobile force is going to come in behind with the Arachnoid Queen, our Goblin Big Bosses, and the Orc Boy Biggins. The main infantry fight here, we are doing really well against these Grave Guard with great weapons. I have a total flank over here on the left with our Orc Biggins. Our Crimson Killers came in, and they are just going to massacre Grave Guard with great weapons. I have my buffs and debuffs from the Night Goblin Shaman over here, and also Skarsnik is now facing off against Manfred von Karstein because Skarsnik has a bonus versus large, so he does really good against Manfred, especially when he's mounted on a horse, and I have no fear. Skarsnik is the most powerful Gobbo to ever Gobbo. He don't give an F. He's going to just 1v1 Manfred von Karstein, and he's going to just do so much damage. Like, Skarsnik, he may be a goblin, but you got to watch out. Like, he can really mess you up. So we have Skarsnik just kind of 1v1ing it back here. I'm going to give him some support with these nasty Skulkers because all the other units are over here dealing with the Graveguard back there. Meanwhile, our other mobile force came in here, and we were going to get charges off on these Cryptors. The Arachnoid Queen is going to be more than enough to assist in this situation. We're going to get a rear charge with the Broken Test Mob, and these Squig Herds are now going to go off, and I think they deal with this Chaos unit, and then they're going to go, of course, and try and deal with the Hell Cannons. And you can see Skarsnik just murdered Manfred von Karstein because he is a beast. Goblin probably ate that vampiric bastard. Or maybe the nasty Skulkers came in and did the job for him. I don't know. But without their leader, the rest of the Graveguard and the Karen race that I was kind of worried about because I didn't really have much magical damage here. Or really any magical damage. But they are going to crumble eventually because of lack of leadership and the number of losses that they have been dealt to the vampiric army. And you can see these units over here crumbling. They did do a bit of damage to my Broken Tusk Mob. I will say that. These Cryptors did. But with the Arachnarok, the Goblin Big Bosses, it's just a very nasty force of death over here that I had. And it was very efficient. And now they're going to be sent over here to deal with the Hell Cannons. Big Bird's fight is still happening. I'm throwing in those AP Loonies. I don't think there's really much else. So yeah, we just finished off the Vampire Counts, and now Skarsnik and his band are going to march across the battlefield to try and finish off Big Bird. And Big Bird cast Plague of Rust on the AP Loonies, which they don't really have much armor anyway. But it will help deal some damage to him. You can see over here, the Exalted Hero came over here to try and rout our Nasty Skulkers. I did apply a debuff directly on him, the Itchy Nuisance, so we're going to try and hold him down with these Squig Hoppers, and they are going to apply poison damage. And I'm just buying time for the rest of our mobile force, including our Gobbos and the Arachnoid Queen, to come over here and try and finish the Exalted Hero and these Chaos Warriors. Then over here, we have some Dwarf reinforcements in terms of the Peak Gate Guard and Grombrindle himself making another appearance to try and bring down Big Bird, as the rest of my mobile forces are going to just quickly destroy the Exalted Hero, or at least shatter him, and the nearby Chaos Warriors try to do one last defense. And so everything is going to go back on Big Bird because he is unbreakable, but against Grombrindle, like, alone, Big Bird is a goner, basically. That Hell Cannon does hurt, though. I think I assigned, yeah, the Squig Hopper's going to go over there and just merrily hop around and eat some Chaos Dwarves. And just shut down those Hell Cannons. And there we go. Big Bird is going to drop, leaving only the Cell Cannon remaining. These Chaos Dwarves don't have much of a chance, even against Squig Herds. I want to see them eat a Chaos Dwarf. Oh! Whoa! Suddenly there's a giant spider here. So yeah, like I said, I've been testing the Arachnoid Queen not being a part of the main line, but instead being a part of the Cav forces, and so far it's worked all the times I've brought her, but she's also kind of been more than necessary in the Cav battles I've had when testing her being brought with our Orc Boy Biggins. Also, I brought a full army, and I couldn't spawn her Spiderlings again. I can keep forgetting about that, and none of my Goblins routed off the field or died, so at least I don't think that they did, not at least till the very end. But yeah, anyway, I think she's powerful in really any part of the army, but I haven't come up in a situation yet where I've been like outnumbered by Cav and then see her kind of pull my Cav through the battle. And the thing is, with her Spiderling summon, she can also summon additional bodies and poison and stuff. I don't know. I'm still going to kind of work with that instead of just putting her in the center of the line. like I usually do. But anyway, good game to our opponents of Yidiak and Nut Huggin. Then, of course, Lord of the Rings fan 15. Kills here. Skarsnik is a beast and did some damage. The AP Gloonies are great. Nasty Skulkers, I can't say enough how good they are. I did pay for some chevrons for them. Orc Biggins, we already know. Crimson Killers did great. The Night Goblin Squid Curs, I did throw them against 2 normal Graveguard, which I thought they would have kind of an okay chance, because everything that the enemy had was basically just heavy armor. So that's kind of why the Night Goblin Squid Hoppers are not the best, especially against vampire counts and the Chaos. But I brought them again because it was requested, so I was like, you know, I'm going to bring them no matter what we go up against, and it just happened that we went up against really not their necessarily ideal target, but anyway, they got a decent amount of kills. I'll have to use them some more in the future. Squid Herd, only 4 kills for them too. The Mobile Force did amazing. For Lord of the Rings fan here, Grombrindle he's the White Dwarf. He's a savage mofo with a great beard and mustache. Don't mess with him. Runesmith did pretty well. Dwarf Warrior is a great weapon. 74 kills on Graveguard is fantastic. Just fantastic. That's insane, actually. Warriors Dragonfire Pass got just kind of outnumbered there on the left flank against all those Chaos Warriors and Inspiring Champions, so they only netted 7 kills. But besides that, like, well, and the Bugman's Rangers too. Besides that, most everything else did pretty well. You know what? I wonder if this organ gun, I wonder if those Blood Knights that I left behind, if they charged the cannon and the organ gun, because I don't think the organ gun really moved up. I wonder if it shot the Blood Knights. Huh. Speaking of the vampire accounts, Manfred went 1v1 against Skarsnik, and saw what happened there. I'm just saying, Skarsnik is really cool. Graveguard mainline did okay considering what it had to fight against. A lot of anti-armor that we threw up against him. Big Bird, 56 kills is great. The main Chaos line dealt some damage before they broke. These were probably the ones dealing with the Warriors Dragonfire Pass, because the low kill count was the ones that were most likely shattered. The Hell Cannons got a decent amount of kills each. Almost 100 each is pretty good. Now, that still is a lot of money devoted to Hell Cannons, and if they had spent that money instead on, like, getting Chaos Chosen Warriors to hold the front line, because, again, this was a 17,000 money, like, that could have been a much different battle, because they would not have broken as easily, and they would have dealt a heavy blow to anything they fought. Horse Masters got destroyed by the Iron Breakers and the Uthar Raiders, so they didn't really get to do too much. But again, good game to my opponents and to my ally, Lord of the Rings fan. I hope you enjoyed that. You know, let's just watch a little bit of the cinematic. Why not? I haven't done that for a little bit. Let's go back and watch cinematic. If you want to watch cinematic, feel free to continue watching. If you don't, thank you for watching this far. Slayers probably should have been sent over to protect their Bugman's Rangers, now that I think about this. But yeah, with these PK guard here, the Nasty Skulkers definitely winning in combat with their help. So that definitely helped them out a lot. That jump kick. Get him, little gobos. I'm so happy. Yeah, get his ankles. Get him. Yes. Don't let him go. I didn't realize it chased for this long. Oh my god, murder them. Okay, now they finally gave up the chase. I caught the tail end of this one. And they just all did a mass crumble. That's right, Skarsnik don't care. He's gonna come in and cast all his buffs, his wah. Stand your ground, I think. Oh yeah, I'm doing his magic staff thing against his Graveguard first. That's a cool little thing. Then I'm gonna charge in. As are these guys. One of the coolest units in the game. Graveguard don't have much of a chance against the Crimson Killers. Not much does, really. At least infantry-wise. Look at that. Manfred even has help from the Cairn race and the Graveguard nearby. Tarzan don't need no help, just Gobbler. We got Nasty Stabbing, I believe, buffing all these people. Yeah, Nasty Stalkers. And Manfred went down. I love these guys. Gabos. And random Dragonback Slayer. Yeah, throw that axe up high, buddy. Aw, they all crumbled. Hey, there's a Runesmith here. What up, buddy? We were dealing with these aspiring champions, and then this guy had to come in and be all rude. That's not a situation they wanted, so they like broke immediately. There's Skull Coppers here though. Ooh. The hell out of there. Run, Brindle! No! Jeez. Get him, Brindle! Yeah! See that? Right on the ass. That ass kill, though. Brindle don't care where he's hitting you, just how he's hitting you. Oh yeah, those Blood Knights. Shit, I meant to. There were some Chaos Warriors. Are there any dead Blood Knight corpses over here? There's some orcs who got shot in the beginning. Those Blood Knights. Oh, maybe they all crumbled right here. That's a mass of them, and I think the main battle was over there. Okay, so I guess they just crumbled a little bit after our disengagement. Okay. But yeah, these two didn't move. But apparently they got some damage done to these Chaos Warriors over here. Alright. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, everybody. I'll see you next time. Take care.